Uzbekistan is beautiful, safe, and relatively affordable. But traveling around the country wasn't always as straightforward as we expected. Google Translate doesn't really work. Train tickets sell out quickly, and traveling between some of the cities takes longer than we expected. We visited Tashkent, Khiva, Bukhara, Samarkand, and some places away from the usual tourist spots. We even went swimming in a lake you probably won't find in most travel guides.
Who knew we are going for a while swimming in Uzbekistan?
We traveled around Uzbekistan for 2 weeks, and we definitely made a few mistakes along the way. In this video, I'm going to share everything you need to know before visiting Uzbekistan, along with practical tips that will make your trip easier. I have also already made a full series of travel videos from our trip, which I highly recommend watching after this video. The first thing you need to know is that you don't need to join a group tour to visit Uzbekistan. You can definitely travel around the country by yourself. I'm not sure why so many people think they need to book an organized tour to see Uzbekistan. We traveled around the country independently for 2 weeks, and it was completely possible, safe, and comfortable. You can book your own hotels, travel between the main cities by train or plane, or use local drivers to get around. Of course, Uzbekistan has so much history, and sometimes it is helpful to hire a local guide, or you can also book local tours and day trips after you arrive. But that doesn't mean you need to join a group tour for your entire trip. Traveling independently is one of the best ways to see the country. You can decide how long you want to stay in each city, stop in smaller places, and have more opportunities to meet local people and learn about their culture. I have also left links to the tours we took in the description. Probably the next question is Uzbekistan safe? I would say it feels safer than many Western countries. We felt completely safe throughout our 2-week trip, even in the bigger cities. While filming, we sometimes left our camera, equipment, and other things nearby, and no one even looked at us or touched our stuff.
We feel extremely safe, like we are not worried about our bags, our phone, our cameras, and people are very chill and it's very clean.
Uzbekistan has a very low crime rate, and people are incredibly kind and hospitable. We didn't experience any scam or anything that made us uncomfortable. I'm not saying scams don't exist, because they can happen anywhere, but we didn't come across any. Even in the most touristy areas, no one pressured us to enter their shop or buy something. Everything felt relaxed and peaceful, which made traveling around Uzbekistan much more enjoyable. And let's talk about when you should visit Uzbekistan. The best time to visit Uzbekistan are spring and autumn, especially April to May and September to October. During these months, the weather is more comfortable for walking around cities such as Khiva, Bukhara, and Samarkand. It can still be warm during the day, but it's much easier than sightseeing in the middle of the summer. Summer can be extremely hot, particularly in the desert areas and historic cities. Temperatures can rise above 40 degrees, so walking around outdoor attractions can become difficult. Winter is quieter and usually cheaper, but it can be very cold, especially in the evenings. You may also get the snow in some parts of the country. We visited in May, and days could be hot, especially in the desert and cities, but it felt cooler in the mountain area. So for the first time, I would choose late April, May, September, or early October. Just keep in mind that spring and autumn are also the busiest season, so book your hotels and train tickets early. And let's talk about how to get around Uzbekistan. There are trains and domestic flights, but the most convenient way to travel between the main city is by high-speed train. The high-speed trains connect Tashkent, Samarkand, and Bukhara, and they are comfortable and much quicker than traveling traveling by road. But the train tickets sell out very quickly. So make sure you book them in advance. That was one of the mistakes we made. We tried to book a last-minute high-speed train from Bukhara to Samarkand, but there were no tickets available at the decent time. We still managed to travel between the cities by hiring a private driver.
When I checked, there was nothing, and the slow train was at 5 a.m. So we decided again, take a taxi and go.
It was easy, not too expensive, but not as fast and comfortable as a train. For Khiva, you can take a domestic flight to Urgen and then continue by taxi. There are also trains, but the journey is much longer. So decide on your route before the trip and book your train ticket as soon as your travel dates are confirmed. Download Yandex Go. Once you arrive in each city, the easiest way to get around is by taxi. But taking a taxi from the street can be tricky. You might not know the correct price and you might need to negotiate with the driver. To avoid the hassle, download Yandex Go. It's basically Uber in Uzbekistan. You enter your destination, see the price before booking, and request a car through the app. We use it in Tashkent, Bukhara, and other cities. It made getting around the city much easier, especially because of the language barrier. We didn't need to explain the address or try to pronounce the name of the places. We could simply enter it into the app. You can pay in cash, so you don't have to add your bank account or pay through the app. Just make sure on the app you select the cash as your payment method before booking. I recommend downloading the app and setting it up before your trip. You will also need a mobile internet, so get a local SIM card or an eSIM. Hotels and some restaurants offer Wi-Fi, but let's be honest, you need internet while you are exploring. You will need it for Yandex Go, maps, train information, hotel bookings, and translation. You can buy a local SIM card after you arrive, but you will need your passport to register it. The other option, which is easier, is getting an eSIM before your trip. You can install it in advance and activate it as soon as you arrive in Uzbekistan. We used both options. I had a local SIM card and Bruno used a Ralo. We both had a good connection throughout the trip. An eSIM is more convenient because you don't need to find a shop after landing. But the local SIM can be cheaper if you need a lot of data. Uzbekistan is a very affordable country to visit, especially compared with many destinations in Europe. Accommodations, food, and transport are reasonably priced, and taxis are surprisingly cheap. Even traveling between cities by private taxi or hiring a driver can be affordable. We paid around $60 for the trip from Bukhara to Samarkand. Eating at local restaurants is also inexpensive, and you can have a good meal without spending much. Of course, prices are higher around the main tourist attractions, and private tours, guides, and boutique hotels will increase your budget. But overall, Uzbekistan is a great destination if you want to travel comfortably without spending too much. So now let's talk about the money in Uzbekistan. The local currency is the Uzbek som, and when you first arrive, the numbers can be a little bit confusing because everything costs thousands or even millions of som.
How much is that?
3 million.
Cards are acceptable in many hotels, restaurants, and large shops, especially in Tashkent and Samarkand. But you still need cash for local markets, small cafes, entrance fees, and taxis. ATMs are available in the main cities, but not every machine works with every international card. So don't wait until you run out of cash before trying to withdraw more. You can also exchange US dollars or euros at banks or official exchange offices. Now it's time to talk about language barrier in Uzbekistan. The official language is Uzbek, and Russian is also widely spoken. In places such as Bukhara and Samarkand, you may also hear Tajik, which is very close to Persian. Because I speak Iranian Persian, I could understand quite a lot of what people were saying. and I could make some conversation.
غذاهای ترکیه بهتره سخن کنه؟
تاجیک اینطور
خیلی قشنگه.
But in general, most people don't speak English, and many restaurants out of touristy areas don't have English menus.
We came to a restaurant and they gave us this menu.
Normally, when I travel somewhere and don't speak the language, I use Google Translate, especially the camera feature to translate menus and signs. But in Uzbekistan, Google Translate didn't always recognize the Uzbek words.
I tried to use Google Translate. The name of the food was Good Life.
So we couldn't really rely on it. Sometimes we translated something into Uzbek and people still couldn't understand what we meant. Translating into Russian sometimes worked better. Sometimes showing a picture of a place or a dish is easier than trying to translate it. Probably you're wondering what you should wear in Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is a Muslim majority country, but it is generally quite relaxed. In the cities, you will see people wearing both traditional and Western style clothes, and women don't need to cover their hair while walking around. You should still dress respectfully when visiting mosques, museums, and religion sites. Cover your shoulders and knees and carry a lightweight scarf in case you are asked to cover your head. You may also need to remove your shoes before entering some religious buildings. So wear shoes that are easy to take off. Uzbekistan can get extremely hot, especially in summers. So wear lightweight, loose, and breathable clothes. Linen, cotton, and other light fabrics are much more comfortable when you are walking around all day. A hat, sunglasses, and comfortable walking shoes are also very useful because many attractions are outdoor. And now, how long do you need to visit Uzbekistan? To see the main highlight and also experience some places beyond the usual tourist route, I would recommend 10 days to 2 weeks. That gives you enough time to visit Tashkent, Khiva, Bukhara, and Samarkand without constantly rushing from one city to another. You can move around more slowly, spend some time in each city, and actually enjoy the place rather than only arriving, taking photos, and leaving again. With 2 weeks, you can also go beyond the main cities, visit the desert fortresses, stay in a yurt, and see the mountain side of the country, which most tourists miss. Okay, if you are a foodie, this is for you. We had some really good meals, but honestly, we also had some food that wasn't very delicious.
Meat inside is not very well cooked and it feels very chewy.
The most famous dish is pulao, which is made with rice, meat, and carrots. You should definitely try it in both Bukhara and Samarkand. There is actually a bit of a rivalry between the two cities. People in Bukhara believe they make the best pulao, and people in Samarkand are convinced theirs is better. So of course, you need to try both and decide for yourself. You will also find dishes such as samsa, kebabs, manti, and lagman noodles. In Tashkent and Samarkand, there are also more restaurants serving international food and other cuisine. I really enjoy trying those too, especially after eating traditional Uzbek food for several days. If you're vegetarian, you may find the options more limited because many dishes contain meat or are cooked with animal fat. And my favorite topic, photography. Uzbekistan is a very photogenic country. The buildings, markets, traditional clothes, and estates are great for photography. It is polite to ask before taking a close photograph of someone, although most people we met didn't mind. Some people even wanted to be in our photos and videos. But leave your drone at home. You cannot simply bring a drone into Uzbekistan and start flying it. So to avoid the hassle and the risk of being fined or arrested at the airport, leave your drone at home. Finally, don't stick only to the famous Silk Road cities and don't skip Tashkent. Tashkent is the best place to see modern Uzbekistan and get a better sense of daily life. It has completely different energy from Khiva, Bukhara, and Samarkand. There are colorful bazaar, beautiful metro station, parks, museum, and many other interesting places to visit. I made a full video about Tashkent so you can watch it later. Uzbekistan is much more than its historic cities. The country has desert, lakes, villages, and beautiful mountain areas that most tourists miss. So try to explore it. I hope you find this video useful. And if you have any question, drop it in a comment. I will try to answer it.